Hey, welcome back to Beard Squid. In this video, we're going to be finding out how to simplify ratios. Coming up. First thing first, in mathematics, we can see whether ratios are equal just in the same way that we can see if fractions are equal. Now, just as 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4 and is equivalent to 4/8, the ratio 1:2 is equivalent to 2:4, which is equivalent to 4:8. So a rule of thumb is we can multiply or divide both parts of a ratio by the same non-zero number to obtain an equivalent or equal ratio. So for example, 1, 2, 3, if we multiply both sides by 4, 1 times 4 gives us 4 and 3 times 4 gives us 12. Both of these ratios are equivalent. So for every 1 doctor, there's 3 nurses. For every 4 doctors, there would be 12 nurses. Now let's look at simplifying a ratio. To convert a ratio in simplest form, we need to divide by the highest common factor. So let's look at an example, 35 to 20. To convert this in the simplest form, we're going to divide by the highest common factor. Now, the highest common factor of 35 and 20 is 5. So 35 divided by 5 gives us 7, and 20 divided by 5 gives us 4. So 35 to 20 in the simplest form would be 7 to 4. So let's look at a couple of examples. Express the following ratios in simplest form. I'm going to take 4 examples and go through them one by one. So for the first one, it says 50 centimeters to 1.2 meters. Now I know that 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. I'm going to convert the 1.2 meters to centimeters. So I have 50 centimeters to every 120 centimeters. Now for me to simplify this, I'm going to divide both sides of the ratio by 2, which is going to give me, for every 25 centimeters, I have 60 centimeters. Now I know that I can simplify that again. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5, which means I have 5 centimeters to every 12 centimeters. So the highest common factor was actually 10. I could have divided 50 by 10 to arrive to 5 centimeters and 120 centimeters by 10 to get to 12 centimeters. Now that's my simplest form. Looking at part B then, what I need to do is I need to find the least common denominator. So in this case, the LCD is 10. I can times the numerator and denominator of the first part of the ratio by 2, which will give me 4 over 10. And that's obviously to every 6 over 10. Now, if I multiply both sides by 10, I would get 4 to 6. So instead of timesing it by 10, if I just cross out the denominators, I would get 4 to 6 anyway. So this ratio isn't in its simplest form. I can divide both sides by 2, which give me the ratio 2 to 3 in the simplest form. Let's move on to part C and D. So part C, 1.5 to 5. What we need to do here is we need to write it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to convert the first part of the ratio as an improper fraction. So that gives me 3 over 2 to every 5, which is basically the same as saying 5 over 1. So 5 is the same as 5 over 1. So I need to find the LCD, which in this case is 2. So if I multiply the numerator and denominator, second part of the ratio, by 2, I will get 10 over 2 to 3 over 2. Now, just like before, I can cross out the denominators, which will give me 3 to 10 in its simplest form. So since part D is similar to C, pause the video here and have a go yourself. So this is what I did. First thing first, write both parts of the ratio as an improper fraction, which is 10 over 3 to 15 over 2. Now I need to find my LCD, which in this case is 6. So I've got 6 at the bottom, which means I multiplied the denominator and the numerator by 2, which will give me 20 over 6. And for me to get 6 at the bottom of this fraction, I've multiplied the denominator and the numerator by 3, which will give me 45 over 6. Now I can just go ahead and cross out the denominators and simplify the numerators by dividing both sides by 5, which will give me a ratio 4 to 9. Since 4 and 9 don't have any common factors, that's the simplest form for this ratio. 3 1/3 to 7 1/2 is simplified to 4 to 9. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, consider watching my playlist on ratios where I do problem solving. See you in the next one.